Good morning, everyone. It's Betty Ray again. And ask Raphael about 30 days to happiness. We're on day, and this little booklet that Raphael inspired me to do, quite a while ago, was just a joy because it gave you something to think about every day, something to concentrate on every day. Yesterday was to put a guard on your mind. And so, if you haven't started our 30 Days to Happiness, you can go back to the YouTube channel that I have and look for day one because you can start anytime. Excuse me. And and it can help you to see how to choose happiness no matter what's going on in your life. You can choose to be happy. That's our free will. It's how you look at things. It's how you decide you're going to react to life. It's your choice. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be happy all the time. It just means that you can look at things differently. So, yesterday, to review, we said put a guard on your mind because your mind is constantly creating your future. It's like a marching band that goes before you and creates what tomorrow's going to bring. You are the creator of your life. God gave us that free will and that ability to think. And ideas we talked about yesterday just sort of float into your mind, and they're either good ideas or they're not so good ideas or they're really bad ideas. And you have to decide. And living in a world of polarities, as we are on planet Earth, you can understand that sometimes we pick up on other people's thoughts that are not so good. And sometimes, people think that's being psychic. Well, everybody's psychic because you're always picking up on ideas. Ideas are abstract. They're a thought that comes in a flash and then they go away again. And so yesterday, you put a guard on your mind for the whole day. Today, for the whole day, decide to find good in all you see and do. That's day two. For this day, and actually I'm starting at 7:20 in the morning, although you can pick it up at any time, which is wonderful about these videos. You can decide to do this and start with day one. And whenever you get up, you just sort of switch it on and you read it, and then you determine that's what you're going to concentrate on just for one day. It's so much easier to think one day at a time than it is to think about 30 days. In 30 days, I'll be happy. No, we're not guaranteeing that. Raphael and I are here to help you to understand the process of becoming a happy, joyful, creative human being. And during this pandemic, when so many of us are confined at home, or at least we don't go out as much as we used to, and we miss that. I certainly do. I miss my friends. I miss giving them a big hug because I'm a hugger. And I miss being able to go to a restaurant and sit across from them and chat. I miss that, yes, but I'm willing to sacrifice that for my life. And I understand that that little bugger that's called a virus, the coronavirus, is still out there, especially here in Florida. And so you better believe I'm staying in. And when I do go out, I wear a mask. And so, day two, we're going to concentrate on I will find good in all I see and do. Wow. Now that, let me put it up to you. I will find good in all I see and do. Wow. That might be a little bit hard. How can we find good in what's bad? That's the big question. How can we find good in what's bad? Well, I had a friend who had a car accident, and that was bad. But when all was said and done, she was able to have her insurance pay for everything. Well, actually, it was the other driver's fault, so the other driver paid for it. But it was a very uncomfortable time because the other person was denying it and giving him a hard time, and So the good in it was that justice was done. The good in it was she finally communicated with people to have them understand what she needed. Communication was hard, but finally the good has come from it, and she is getting her car fixed. That's only one example. Every day we have puzzles to unravel. Every day we have to think about what it is we need to experience this day, what we'd like to experience. And it's like, okay, God, I want a happy day. Well, how do you make it happy? By looking for the good in everything. And there's an old story about this little girl who was shoveling through a pile of manure. I won't use the other word. And the little girl, somebody said, "What are you doing? Ooh." And she said, "I'm looking for the pony." And that was an idea of someone who is looking for good in everything. She figured that there was a pile of manure there. There had to be a pony under there somewhere. And that's innocence. We call upon your childlike innocence now and joyously look for good in everything. And that means what your life is like. Now, I have a friend who just came back from the hospital. She had to have a pin in her hip after she fell. And she's in a lot of pain. So, how does somebody who's in a lot of pain find good in their life? Well, her good is that she has a wonderful husband, excuse me, that tends to her every need. And she has a home that is, well, it's almost paid for because her husband has been diligent about doing that. She has so many things to be grateful for. And that's really what it's about. To say every morning when you wake up, thank you, God, for this day and every day of my life, as all my needs are met. That's the key right there. To say thank you before. You don't say it after it happens. You say it before it happens, because that way you are creating your life to be grateful for every day of your life. And that's kind of what we're talking about, to be grateful. That's one of the key elements to be able to have a happy life, is to see good in everything that happens. Now, I'm confined at home. Why not be doing videos to have 30 days to prepare myself for learning how to be happy? And that's what I want to share with you, dear friends. And so Raphael and I are going to spend 30 days. This is an episode where you can go to it anytime and you can start the 30 days. And so today is only day 2. And we are going to help you to find good in everything that happens. And so let's look at life with the coronavirus. It has been just a plain old pain in the butt, but because you have to wear a mask when you go out. Now, there's been such silly um, conflict about wearing a mask. It's my right to be able to choose to wear it or not. Yes, indeed, it is. It is your right to be a typhoid Mary if you get it and spread it to all kinds of other people. But how would you really feel about it if your mother died of the coronavirus because you gave it to her, because you didn't want to wear a mask? How would you feel? Not very good, I suspect. And we're talking about day 2 of 30 days to happiness. So it means looking not just at what your needs are, it means looking at the needs of others and be willing to give up what's good for you for a bit to take care of others, because only then are you going to find true happiness. If all you think about are your needs, that's called narcissism. If all you think about are your needs, you're going to run into all kinds of problems, because that backfires on you, especially when you step on other people so that you can climb the ladder to be a little bit taller than they are, a little bit better than they are. And that is a baby soul talking. We've talked about this in the past. Yes, God creates all of us. We have a soul. And when we come to planet Earth for the first time, we are like a primitive man coming out of the jungle. We don't know what to expect. We're totally innocent and totally stupid when it comes to what will happen if we do this or if we do that. And so, usually, primitive souls, we'll call them that, primitive souls often don't have a very long life because they end up perhaps taking something from someone, and that someone didn't like them taking them something, and they end up being shot to death, or some way or another, they get killed. And we have a lot of that going on. Murder is still going on because it's just part of humanity and it's part of baby souls. They take what they want, and sometimes people don't like it, and they end up on a slab in a morgue, which is really not all that bad because every one of us do not die. We don't die. Our body dies. Our life on planet Earth as we know it dies, but our spirit, our soul goes on and it learns about sentient life on planet Earth. And so today, just for today, all day, look for good in everything you see. If you watch the news, know that all the turmoil that is going on in our political scene is going to be resolved come January when we have a new president, because we will have a new president. That I can tell you for sure. And if you don't like those apples, you can find out what it's like to have a president that is really for the people and of the people and not for himself. So enough said. We'll put the politics aside. But let's look at today. Every time you watch the news and you find out that that things are not as good as you'd like them to be, know that they're going to get better. This coronavirus will eventually go away, but not for quite a while yet, dear ones. Raphael tells me that every time, here I am living in Florida, which is one of the hot spots in the United States now, because we opened up too soon. And all those people flocked to the beaches because they were interested in their own personal pleasures. And when they did, without wearing a mask, without having 10 feet apart, they just gave each other the virus. And here they are now dying. We have more deaths here. And it's not because of old people like me. Young people now are getting sick from the virus because they go out to restaurants and they breathe the virus into one another. And some of them become, well, very, very ill. Then they can't breathe and they die. That's the truth. That's a given. And so, well, how do we find good in that? We find good in it because all that happens is part of the divine plan for the life. And what happens is our free will. We do have a right to choose. When we are young and baby souls, we'll choose only what is good for us in the moment. But if we're more mature souls, we don't look at ourselves as the center point of all that is, of our comfort. If we are mature souls, we look out for our fellow human beings. We care about others. We care about their well being, not just their health, but their happiness. And so here we are, Raphael and I, giving you 30 days to happiness. And day 2, we want you to think about finding good in everything. Now, I've found good in everything. And since I'm confined at home, I'm writing my 3rd novel. I've decided to pick up some more of my rug hooking and do some of that. I have an art studio that I would like to do some of that. I'm going to have to think about cleaning it up because it's a little trailer out behind my house so that I can use oil and have the smell of it not stink up my house. I'm very, very blessed in so many ways. But people say that to me. Well, yeah, you're a retired teacher, so you've got, yes, I made choices way back when I was young to study and study and study while I was in high school. I was no brain, but I studied. And so that when I was ready to go to college, I had a pretty good grade average that could get me into college. And I had to study while I was in college to become a teacher. I made choices every day. I didn't screw up. I didn't spend all my time going out because actually I went to St. Mary's of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana, at a time when it was an all girls school. And Notre Dame was right across the street with all those boys. And once in a while, we got together and we would have dances and things like that. It was, if I was there just for the social part of it, I would have been in my seventh heaven. But I was there to study and learn. And I found that I was also called the Ice Queen because I wasn't ready to fall in love with the first man that fell in love with me, or at least he said he did. And so I made choices back then. I decided I was going to be a teacher, and that meant studying because I wasn't the smartest uh, person on the block. I had to study. My roommate was really smart, and she didn't have to study, and she would get mad at me because I had the light on at night while I was studying, and she couldn't sleep. I actually went into the closet and put on the light in the closet and would study in the closet because I had to study. I made daily choices. I made daily choices. And here I am now in my 80s, and I am reaping those rewards of those choices. And so I say to you, every day you are making choices. Choose good. Choose to look for the good in your life. Listen to the divine inspiration that is given to you to try something new, to try an art project, to try doing some writing and writing every day about what you think and feel, not about what you did so much as how you felt about it. Because the more you understand how you react to your emotions, the better off you are in making decisions in the future. So today, look for good, not in the past. Don't look at the past. Look for the good that you can do today because today is the only day you have right now. And this is day 2 of 30 days to happiness. And so find time to give thanks for all that you have, for all that is good. Don't focus on what's bad. I had one person say that the universe is a mirror, and whatever you say it is in the moment is what it is. And whatever you feel about the future is what it will become. And so we say to each of you, be joyful by choosing to be joyful, choosing to look for the good in this day, and make that a habit of every day. As we go through these 30 days to happiness, they're all certain ways to look at life. And so we're saying to you this day, choose to find good in everything that you see and hear. Look at the flowers in the garden. Take time to smell the roses, they often say, but take time to see the beauty that God has created in nature. Take time to rejoice in that and give thanks for it. Take time to look at the beautiful things you've accumulated in your house and think about where you found them and how you got them and how much pleasure they gave you. Look for the good in today, and it will lift your spirits up, and you will be happy for the moment. And so today is the day to look for the good in everything. And then day 3 will be tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow morning so that you can tune in. And please do tell your friends about Raphael and Betty Ray and how they're doing 30 days to happiness. And if anything, let your curiosity bring you back, for the angels are with you and inspiring you. And that's what we're here to do, to remind you that you are a spirit being first, and then you are a physical being second. Allow that to be the truth. Give thanks every day that you are alive and that you are on this beautiful planet to be an explorer of this dense energy and the polarities that push you here and push you there, from positive to negative. Yesterday we said put a guard on your thoughts. We hope you practice doing that and you're carrying that over today. And so we'll leave you with this again. Today is the second day of 30 days to happiness. Believe it or not, these little things that Raphael is giving to you, these little hints about how to have a happier life, will carry you through the rest of your life. And so today, look for the good and give thanks for everything that you can think of. And it reminds me of a class that my husband and I took. It was a spiritual kind of a class, and the instructor asked us to make a list of all the things that we were grateful for and come back next week and show that list. Well, my husband got the idea to take a roll of toilet paper, and on every little sheet, we wrote something to be grateful for, and we were able to fill that whole roll of toilet paper. You'd be surprised at the little things that you can think of to be grateful for. We filled a whole roll of toilet paper. And believe me, it blew our instructor away. He was so impressed, he asked if he could keep that roll of toilet paper and show it to his other students in his other classes. Do you think you could do that? Could you take a roll of toilet paper this day and list enough things that would fill that whole roll about what you are grateful for? I'll bet if you think about it, you could. So here again, day 2, I will find good in all I see and do this day. And so make it a happy day. And God bless all of you. Come back again tomorrow because we are Betty Ray and we're a channel for the Archangel Raphael, who has inspired us to do this, that actually we put together as a little book. I'll hold it up again. This little book is called 30 Days to Happiness. And again, it was an inspiration that Raphael gave me, I don't even know how many years ago. And today we're talking about giving it to you. And so have a happy day and make it a day where you look for good, not for the things that are wrong in the world, but for the things that are right and how beautiful your planet is. And see if you could fill a whole roll of toilet paper. Blessings on you. Come back again tomorrow. And please tell your friends to sign up for our YouTube channel and to let us know what you think about it. Please spread the word because Raphael is here through me to bring you joy. And that's our purpose. God bless all of you. Bye for now.